Hello everyone, today I'll show you how to buy your first house in just 90 days with two non-negotiable decisions. My name is Longley. I am with Magical Success Realty and your home sale guarantee realty. Today, I am going to show you how to buy your first house in 90 days with two non-negotiable decisions. I also want to let you know that this episode of the video is included in a longer series that show you exactly how to actually buy the first house and use that first house to get the second one for free. But that is our scope for today webinar. So let's come back to today content first. Okay. First of all, I want to say congratulations to all of you because you are, as a business owner, as a employee, as an employer, right? You do have a busy work schedule. And I know your time is valuable and you must be very busy with your work and your life and your family, especially today is the weekend. So you must have some plan going on as well. So I wanted to start the presentation by saying is this, congratulations to you for taking your time to overcome the fear of making mistakes to attend this webinar to learn about the complicated of the home buying process and how to actually overcome it and buy your first house in just 90 days. Okay? Honestly, I made many mistakes when I purchased my first home back in 2016, just like you. When you're sitting there as a first-time home buyer, and you might thinking, how long this guy is like buy many houses already, so he can say anything that he wants, right? But in fact, back in 2016, when I first buy a house, I made so many mistakes. So many. It's not just one, not just two, but so many. And I'll tell you right here, okay? After my graduation, all I care about is to have a house because my fiance back then, my wife now, right? Uh, about to get married. Okay, so we want to have a house so that we can live together. All I did back then was to go see houses without any plan, without any knowledge of how we actually navigate through the buying process. We don't even know there is a process. That's actually mistake number one, right? When you start to do something and you don't even know how to do it and you just do it, you just swing it, then you have to make mistake. Okay, and it actually almost cost me big problem, right? So we actually set some price after we meeting with a realtor. We actually set some price, okay, for first house 250. Now why? We're not really sure. That's actually mistake number two. Because we just like, okay, that number kind of makes sense. So just put that 250 in mind, right? Luckily, we have a set, we beside that, we do have a set of locations and the criteria about the bedroom size, about the location. So it was kind of helpful for my realtor back then to get a house, to get some houses for us to see. So we went to see several houses, and then we for the resold by owner, right? None of them seems to be a good fit for us. So it's kind of disappointed back then. But after several weeks of searching, okay, we heard of a brand new house. What was that? What is the brand new house? We didn't even know that was a thing. We didn't even know that we can actually buy land, and some other company, something called builder, gonna build a house for us. Okay, because of our naive experience in this, because we think, okay, if we buy land, if we buy brand new, then we are the one who make the construction, not the builder. We didn't know that. Okay, so in fact, that's another mistake, right? So after we heard of that concept, we started our search primarily focusing on the brand new house since then, because my wife seems to be very interested in the new design of the house. Okay, and obviously I don't want to get messed up before our wedding, right? So we focus on that. So one day we came into the community in like a Gilbert community. All right, so here's mistake number three. Okay, because here's the thing, back then the number one criteria is for us to getting closer to my new job location, which is in North Phoenix. I give my realtor specific criteria that only 30 minutes away from where I work. Gilbert, and this is almost to an area now what we call East Mark, right, near 202 and 60 junction. So it's like 45 to an hour drive from uh, from that location to North Phoenix. So that's mistake number three already. Even though that's a must, we violate it. We go see it anyway. So we go see some houses in that neighborhood. I have to admit, however, okay, the neighborhood is very nice, and I think that's the main reason why we let our emotion take over our criteria. Okay, we actually fell in love with the community. We fell in love with the model home. uh, the community has a nice green background, right? A lot of park, a lot of playground area. As you turn into the neighborhood, there's three line two three lines that pretty much welcome you. Okay, and even the model home, everything makes sense in that model home. The floor plan, the price. Back then, the brand new house is only 250. Surprise, right? Um, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, the size, everything is perfect. Just the location doesn't match. Just the most important criteria doesn't match, and we let that emotion take over. We actually made the decision to sign a contract tomorrow morning. That's mistake number four. Why? By the way, that is actually our biggest mistake, okay, in the hunting process. Everything else, we kind of navigate through it, okay? But the mistake number four, we make the decision right away to sign a contract the next morning, is horrible. Because you know what? Because we didn't do any research of the community, okay? We just go see the house, fall in love, get the emotion take over, and make the decision. Okay, so at that night, we talked to our parent, to my parents, about the house, and they're very excited for us as well, because it's such a big achievement in our life. So they asked us to see if we can take them to the community to look at it. Okay, so we took them there, and we found out that it was actually a horrible mistake. The community is still nice. The trees is there. The light is actually make the community, the tree, even more beautiful, right? But there's a strong smell that none of us can stand it. Okay, especially my wife. Uh, and we found out later that the smell was from actually a dairy farm not too far away from the community. We didn't smell anything in the morning, but the smell was very strong at night. So my wife immediately canceled our meeting the next morning. And from that from that incident, we know right away that the home buying process is indeed very complicated, and many mistakes can happen. Okay, in fact, 53% of the people, of the first time home buyer, think that finding the right house is very difficult. 36% of the first time home buyer find that saving for the down payment is difficult. 32% of the first time home buyer find that, I'm sorry, 36% of the first time home buyer find that the understanding the process and the steps is difficult, and 32 is like saving the down payment is difficult. Okay, and now this is just the tip of the iceberg, and this is just the most most common problem that the buyer can face during a home buying process. Okay, as such, many mistakes a first-time homebuyer can make with this complicated process. And I think one of the reason, okay, for me, I think even for me today, okay, after buying and selling hundreds of homes, okay, for myself and for my clients, right, I can still make mistakes when it comes to purchase my own home, especially when I let the emotion kick in. And that's because I misprioritize the importance of non-negotiable steps, decisions in the home buying process. I was trying to purchase my next investment deal. Okay, I saw a house that fairly fair price, even like last month. Okay, very recent price, reasonable price, and we go right away. We go right away again. Later that we know, find out that hey, actually there's a com that's closed a week ago that have a better condition and lower than the less expensive than the one that we are under contract with. That's a big problem, right? So because I thought that the price already based on my experience, right? I relied too much on my experience and it didn't look at the fact, and therefore causing me big trouble. Okay, but luckily we still have the inspection process. Okay, inspection, and then actually that is when I found out about that com and renegotiate with the seller in that situation. Okay, so misprioritization is one of the biggest cause in the home buying process that could cause a lot of problem, a lot of mistake in the home buying process, because you just take like all over the place. Think about it. There's too many decisions for you to make. Okay, and you never be able to find out if this is a first time home buyer, right? You never be able to find out which one to do first. Okay, so the most important thing that you have, the most important skill for you to understand is this: you have to have the ability to make the decision, to make the right decision. And how? You have to make the decision based on your non-negotiables. If you don't have any experience in the home buying process, you have to have a list of the thing that is non-negotiables, and you have to rely on that list and make the decision on it. So my lesson, so here's the seven non-negotiable decisions to buy the first house and get the second house for free. That's like I said, is out of scope for today's webinar because it could take me a whole day to talk about this, and then I don't think that you can be enough patient, right? So I want to emphasize on the first two. Okay, the first two non-negotiable decision will help you make the right decision to get the first house within 90 days. And those are the decision about financing and decision about the housing. Okay, so even though I only gonna present to you the detail of the two decisions today, I have some bonus for you. Okay, so here is the buyer most asked question document that I gathered from hundreds of transactions, and I put all together here with my answer. So if you're interested in that, feel free to scan and get a copy of it. Next one is the buyer guide. This one is kind of a book that I wrote with all the detail of what you need to do from A to Z to get the first house. Okay, but here is not the first decision. Okay, this is the first decision. Decision number one: stack your saving. What do I mean by that? So I have a story for you. How many of you still have your old car that you are driving when you were in college, when you were in high school? How many of you still have it? I don't. I don't, right? I changed like 3 cars already. But back in 2016, right after my graduation, that is actually one of the first decision I make. I've been driving the old Toyota 1995 for like 6 years, and in fact it's still running, but I decide to upgrade myself because I now graduate, right? I'm an engineer, so I have money. I totally forget about the student loan debt that I have, the credit card debt that I have. I step into a Lexus dealer. And at first, we was like, my friend and I, like, okay, let's come just take a look. Take a look. And then we never gonna be, we won't decide to buy. We went there, look back and forth, like, I see a very nice car. It's just 2019. I forget the title, sport model, EX, I think, right? And it looks very nice. Black, very fast, look fancy inside with all the screen back then, like having the screen is very nice in a car, right? So I fell in love with it right away and I bought it on the spot. I drove home. My fiance and my wife was I'm sorry, my mom was like, Long, what are you doing? You just graduated. And it took on a 65,000 debt of car. Okay. Little did I know that actually prohibit me my ability to buy a house. Okay, luckily I still be able to get my fiance on board, go get on the loan with me, and then we bought the house. Okay, but that is a story. I don't even think about financing. I don't even think about, oh well, it's very easy to get a loan nowadays, right? So I just do it without even thinking about the consequences of it. Okay, so that's the reason why I want to emphasize the importance of stacking your saving, the decision to make you become more financial responsible, more financial responsible. Saving is actually the foundation. Okay, you actually laying when you do saving your money, you actually laying some bricks for your financial foundation for your house. It's like a foundation. When you build a house, you have to have a strong foundation, because with a strong foundation you can actually not only build a house but also building a wealth engine. Okay, so here's the five steps that you can actually laying your bricks for your financial foundation. Okay, number one, you have to know all the income source that you have. Okay, it could be your main job. Okay, if you have a co-signer, that is also an additional income source. If you have an extra income, right? Maybe you drive a Lyft, you drive Uber. Back then I did that. uh, I actually as an engineer, I driving Uber, I driving Lyft. I actually become a adjunct faculty of the MCC. All kind of additional income that you can get, list them out. You know why I list them as the first step? Because actually the second step is expense, list our expense. But I want to emphasize the first step as an income, because I want us to celebrate for the thing that we are able to earn. Okay? If you are the business owner, what is the maximum income that you can get within a year on average? What is the monthly income? Okay, so those are the things that you need to specify first, and you celebrate it, you're happy with it, because well, that's hard work. It's not easy to get, so you celebrate it. Okay, number two is the expense. You have to know all expenses that you have to spend. That means all the credit card debt, all the car debt, all the student loan debt, all personal loan debt, and all the grocery and gas and insurance and everything that you spend on the monthly basic. Okay, list them out from small to big. Okay, from small to big. Okay, then you're gonna create a budget. Okay, now you have the income on one end and you have the expense on one end. You earn 10,000, you spend 11,000, you have a problem. It doesn't work. The 1,000 doesn't come automatically. There's something wrong, right? So that's the reason why having the budgets giving you a clear picture of what you need to control. Okay, and what can you control, all right? If in fact the expense column is the, like, you absolutely must spend, then you have to increase your income in that situation. Okay, if you have 10,000 in income and 10,000 in expense, some of you may think it is okay, but here's a fact: it will not. You will not be able to buy a house with that budget. Okay, so what do you have to do next? You have to have some goal to make moving forward. And the first goal that I have for you is to make the 1,000 saving. The question coming in is, why 1,000? Why such a small number? Well, the reason is this: I want to start small. For those of you who do not have the habit of saving, the habit of, and always have the habit of spending, right? I want to start small so that it doesn't discourage you. And it still give, but this is still make you, focus and commit to be able to do this. Otherwise, you will not be able to save up anything. Okay, so it's not too big that you can give up, but it's small enough to give you some momentum. I'm sorry, I think I've reversed. It's not small that you that you can give up, but then also it's big enough for you to celebrate. Okay, so that's the reason for 1,000. The next saving that you have to do is to save for the down payment. Have a target, have a target number. And some of you may ask, how much do I need for the down payment? You can do 0%, which I don't recommend, by the way. Some of the loan program can allow you to do 0%, like VA or first-time home buyer. They can have some down payment assistance program to help you with the down payment. I don't personally recommend this. Okay, like I said, because the whole thing of the decision number one is to create financial responsibility. Okay, stack your saving, laying some bricks for your financial foundation. That's the whole goal, right? So I don't recommend to go with zero is the easy, and easy doesn't create good foundation. The minimum is 3 to 3.5%. Okay, that's very typical. A lot of loan program can provide that you can do that. And if you have the ability to do 10, that's perfect. And of course, more is even better. Okay, but typically I would have a target of 5%. Because why? Because 3 to 3 when 3, while you can get a loan with 3 or 3.5% down payment, okay, the 5 give you some extra money for the closing cost. Okay, and here's some pro tip. Okay, you can always make a higher down payment. In fact, the higher the down payment is, the better financial conditions like interest rate and closing date and closing costs. I'm sorry, those are the things that is better if you have a higher down payment. Okay, check number, but you have to make sure that those funds usable. Why do I do that? Why do I say that? Because sometimes if you do not have the source of the deposit, then you cannot use those funds in the down payment. Okay, so I normally recommend 5% as a start for saving the down payment. And by the way, that gives you more preparation in terms of getting ready to buy the first house. If you don't have the down payment, you cannot buy the house unless you qualify for 0% down payment, which I don't recommend, right? So have the 5%. And next step is getting a pre-approval letter from your loan officer. Okay, why is that? Okay, here's the benefit. It gives you a better understanding of how much you can qualify before you go shopping. Remember, the whole goal is to give you the decision so that you buy the house within 90 days. So you don't want to waste time on go looking for houses that is too much for you or too little for you. If you think that you only qualify for $200,000 loan, you may only look at houses that is around that price range, and that may be one of the reasons you cannot find a good house for you, because the $200,000 house is gonna be very, very bad, right? So that's the reason why it saves you time. Okay, it saves you budget, but it's also giving you the budget, but also saving you time. Okay, actually that's next, right? Giving you the budgets so that we know exactly what we look for and saving time for you to shop. Next one is cash. Okay, when you have the pre-approval, you know for sure that, For example, if you are under contract, you know for sure that you can finish the loan, finish the application, finish the transaction, right? And then protect your honest deposit, because anytime that you go under contract, you have to put in a deposit. And if you, for some reason, cannot close the transaction, and if it is your fault, you are losing the honest deposit. Okay, knowing that you are pre-approved can make you feel safe, because you can close the transaction. You don't have to worry about you don't have to worry about the honest deposit, right? You feel more confidence for that reason. And last but not least, it gives you the leverage. The negotiation power to negotiate with the seller. Let's say if there's a house, right, and two or three people come in making an offer, you are the only buyer that have the pre-approval. You are in a much better negotiation power, position compared with the other buyer. Okay, so here's if there's a lot of terminologies in the lending word, and I want to clarify it a little bit. There's a difference between pre-qualification and pre-approval. Pre-qualification, you only tell the loan officer some basic information by word, by mouth, right? To be able to get a fully pre-approval, you have to provide financial documents, and you need to start a loan application. Okay, you have to fill out some information to be able to get that pre-approval. You don't have to do this quality pre-qualification check. Sometimes they do a soft credit check, but to be able to get a fully pre-approval, you need to have the full credit check. Okay, in contradictory pre-qualification, you only receive a rough estimate of the loan. Okay, pre-approval give you a commitment from the lender to lend you that X amount of money, and you also have an estimated interest rate. Okay, versus the pre-qualification, you cannot know what the interest rate is, because here's the thing: to be able to give you the information, you have to provide those information. Right? No one know your financial situation until you provide it, right? So that's the reason why pre-approval is much better than pre-qualification. What kind of credit score that you normally need? 580, okay, for FHA, 680 for conventional, and sometimes it's 700 for some of the investment program. All kind of program can you can actually find a wide range of program that really depend on the credit score that you find best fit for you. Okay, of course, check with the loan officer, check with the agent at that time. That conversation is out of scope for this webinar, but here's the overall look of the 6 steps to help you stack your saving and laying some bricks for your foundation, financial foundation. Number 1, the income. List out the income. Number 2, list out all the expenses. Number 3, create a budget. Number 4, reach the goal, save 1,000. Number 5, reach the goal, save for the down payment. And number 6, get pre-approved. Okay, with that, I would highly encourage, and this is your exercise, okay, start managing your money and get pre-approved. That will save you time before you making the second decision, which is the house hunting strategy. This is the most important decision out of all 7 that I have earlier, right? But this is the most important, and I want to spend more time with you on this one. Okay, this is the strategy that can help you finding the house faster. Because here's the thing: a lot of people are just like playing around with the house hunting process, right? And never get it done. Of course, you should never rush into buying a house, but at the same time, you shouldn't be lacking in seeing houses if you're really serious as well. So this strategy keep pushing you and collecting feedback to make your house hunting easier and in the follow the sequence. Okay, so how many of you have kids? I do have two boys. Okay, and they started interested in doing puzzles. Okay, at first, like, okay, well, that's okay, that's fine, let's do some puzzle, and we give them a big box of puzzle, and they look at it like, okay, how do I even get started? It's confusing. Why is the picture so small? I mean, what is this and compared to this, and how do we make they make connection together? Okay, so we started wrong, but then we fix it. Okay, we first gonna give them some puzzle that very simple with like a wood puzzle that have a slot that they cannot do wrong, right? The only way that it works is putting one at a time into that slot, right? And then done that, check. So the next level is to give them the puzzle with big pieces, like real puzzle with big pieces instead of wood and with a slot, right? So they can visualize, instead of giving them like 100 pieces, 200 pieces, we give them like 10 or even 8 pieces, right? And then put them together. Okay, cool. Now they understand how to combine the two pieces together, even though if they have the wrong pictures, right? Combine them to make more sense of the bigger one. Good, check. And then we give them some game with small pieces. Okay, and they start confused again. Because it's completely different strategy, right? Because in the first thing, they only know how to win the game. Okay, make sure that everything checked, they win. And the second one, they know how to combine the images together, the pieces together. That's it. That's good. We're done. But then it's to the real one, they don't have a strategy to play it. So they're confused again. And at that time, we give them the strategy to follow, which is, okay, maybe you have a different strategy, but this is the one that we do at our home, right? We give them like, okay, start with the corner. Try to find the 4 corner pieces, okay? Put them in the location that supposed to be. Find the edges first, okay? When you have all the edges pieces, okay, because it's generally easier to find, right? They have one side that is flat line, so they just have to find out, and then you come to the main area inside, and voila, they know how to do that. So exactly like this, the house hunting strategy is like that. Okay, it gives you a puzzle pieces of puzzle that you can put together and complete the process. Okay, so number one, what is that? What is the first piece of puzzle that I'm giving to you? The criteria, you have to give a clear criteria. Okay, you have to find out what is must have for your house and what is the nice to have house. Okay, talking about this, I do have a list of items as a suggestion for you to um, to to see whether it's a must or it's a nice have for you. If you're interested, text me the word clarity. Okay, text me the word clarity to 480-480-7948 and get that in your mailbox. Okay, so number one is that. Number two is the daily discovery decision. You have to view the property in the daily basic. Don't slacking. And I'm not talking about in person yet. You can do online, okay? Uh, and look at the pictures and compare, okay? Because if you don't look at it, you will not be able to remember what you have available and how you compare to the one that you like and what you don't like. Okay, creating the habit of looking at houses on the regular basis. Next step is the weekly walkthrough decision. Okay, you at least find one house that you can see in person, because here's the thing, 100%, well, actually 99% of the buyers feel that walkthrough of the house is needed before they make the decision to make an offer or not. Okay, unless you're out of state and you don't have that luxury to go see houses all the time, I would highly recommend you to do the walkthrough every week. Okay, And on the monthly basis, at least make some discussion about making an offer. Okay, whether at the end of the offer is okay, the decision to make offer or not, right? At least you're gonna have chance to ask question. You're gonna have chance to give feedback. Okay, and you should fine tune the search, the criteria at the up on top, and redo it again. That will give you the momentum to fine tune it, to correct it, and then do it again. Check what you see online, go to see the house in person, discuss about whether making an offer or not. If you make an offer, that's great. If not, what is the reason not, right? Give the feedback back to the realtor, to yourself, on what need to be improved, what need to be changed. Okay, so here's your homework for this decision. Decide your non-negotiable housing criteria. That is absolutely a must, because if you don't know what's must, you're gonna repeat my same mistake, right? Have to have non-negotiable things, criteria, to be able to guide you through the home buying process. Okay, so here again, here's the 7 non-negotiable. If you can, one, you can take a picture of this. Okay, non-negotiable decision to buy first house and get the second one for free. Today we actually already covered the first 2 decisions, okay, which is the decision about financing and the decision about the housing. Those are the actually the basic, the foundation of getting your home within 90 days. So, and that what we cover today. We also cover about the what you need to create financial habit, make a habit better, financial habit better. Okay, and what you need to decide which house is the right house for you. Okay. Um, all right. So here's my offer. Here's my offer for you, because I know that you may be confused of what it is, how to make a budget. Okay, feel free to book a call with me, and then I'll guide you. Oh, by the way, I have a sheet of things that the budget, that template for the budget that I can send you, and you can just fill out the budget accordingly. What is your income? What is your expense? And you fill out the goal, and you can track the goal. Just text me the word budget to 480-480-7948, and you will receive a copy of that. Okay. After you're done with the budget on your own, book a call with me so that we can review and make sure that you align with your goal, right? Realistic timeline or not, right? Or if you already create the budget, you already save up some down payment, 1,000. Now you can create a fine-tuned list of criteria list. Again, if you're interested in receiving a suggestion items to look at, just send the word criteria to 480-480-7948, and you will receive a template, the list of things that you should consider as well. Okay, I can also go over the list with you, no problem at all. Even if you don't even like ready to buy a house yet, right? We still be able to look at the list as a start for you. Okay, so you can request a free call if you want to talk about much more detail home buying process and how to get a second house for free, or looking at the budgets, look at the house criteria. Feel free to request a call. Text the word info to 480-480-7948, or go email me, and then I'll more than happy to share with you my calendar, and then we can talk about your housing strategy. So to close, I want to tell you this. I just got a news from one of my potential seller. Well, she ended up not listing with me because she can't. Why she can't? You may be asking why she cannot sell the house with me. Well, in fact, she cannot sell the house with anyone. Because here's the situation. When she bought the home, it was actually she signed up for a very special program that required her to limit her profit at the time that she sell. I didn't help her bought the home back then. Unfortunately, I hope that I was there, but I was not. So it was different agent helping her out. And that agent did not even know about the program. They, the buyers or the seller or the homeowners, of course, didn't aware of that and make the mistake of signing the contract, allowing the program to dictate how much she can sell. So she only be able to sell on top of 25% profit on top of her base, which is horrible, right? Which is horrible because that and then also she cannot sell to anyone else besides selling back to the original program. So those kind of mistake that I want to warn you is this: real estate is a complicated process, and it's very easy to make mistake. So you have to understand your non-negotiable. Okay, so you have to make the decision of what you need to do first, what you need to do second, third, fourth, fifth, and then last. Okay, I understand that as a business owner, as a highly skilled employee in the US, you have such a successful career, and I'm pretty proud of all of you. Okay, I also I was so proud of myself when I first when I first when I got my first real job without any introduction from anyone. So I know how you proud of yourself as well. Okay. Now graduate. So that's but here's the thing: buying a house is a complicated process, and unless you have done that many times, you don't have to have an agent. You don't have to learn about the process. You don't have to understand anything. But if this is your first time, I highly recommend you to make it. The fact that you are here, by the way, make you very proud of you as well. And uh, and for that reason, I want to thank you again. And I hope that if anything that I say in the presentation still not making sense, feel free to give me a call and we can discuss. We can sit down and I'm gonna go over the process again. Or if you want more advanced, I still have 5 more steps, 5 more decisions that you can actually help you getting not only getting the first house, but use that first house as a wealth engine and buy the second house for free within a year. Well, that's all I have. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching, and I hope to see you in the next webinar.